Hi guys, welcome back to Waxing On. Hopefully everybody had a safe St. Patrick's Day and had a good time celebrating. If you remember on Wednesday, we looked at an album by a band called Lighthouse from Toronto. And I showed you this one fine day. And I mentioned we were going to talk about one of the members of the band. Now, just to refresh your memory on who was in the band, we had Skip Prokoff, drums and percussion, Paul Hofford on piano, Ralph Cole on guitar, Don DeNovo on viola, Dick Arman on cello, Louis Yakinen on bass, Keith Jollimore on sax, flute, and vocals, Larry Smith on trombone and vocals, Howard Shore on sax, Pete Penteluck on trumpet, and Bob McBride, vocals and percussion. Okay, who do you suppose it is? Today we're looking at one of the musicians, started out in Lighthouse. He's gone on to win Grammy Awards, Academy Awards, Golden Globes. He's scored more than 80 movies. He's been musical director on a number of programs. And he's another boy born in Toronto. I'm talking of Howard Shore. Now, some of you may recognize the name right away because back in the 70s, Howard Shore got picked as musical director for a comedy show. And it was two stand-up comedians that had a show with sketches and comedy routines. And it was Hart Pomerantz and Lorne Michaels. Now, I know what you're thinking, Lorne Michaels. Yes, it's the same Lorne Michaels that looked after starting Saturday Night Live and has been responsible for that whole explosion of entertainment. So when Howard Shore came along, he did the musical direction for their comedy show. When Lorne Michaels went from Toronto to New York, he took Howard Shore with him. And he was musical director of Saturday Night Live from 1975 to 1980. Now, during that time, he'd also taken Paul Schaefer with him, who was another fellow working out of Toronto, but from Thunder Bay, so another fellow from Ontario. And it wasn't unusual for Lorne Michaels to take Toronto people. I mean, when he started the show up, took Howard Shore as musical director. Rosie Schuster, who happened to be a daughter of another comedy giant, Wayne and Schuster, or Johnny Wayne Frank Schuster, that had a show very similar to what Hart and Lorne Terrific Hour was. She went down as a writer, took Dan Aykroyd and Gilda Radner from Second City in Toronto. He had a lot of great talent that he took with him when they started up Saturday Night Live. Now, Howard Shore was responsible for the band, and once in a while they get featured. I can think of the Howard Shore All Nurse Band. They backed Steve Martin for the King Tut segment. There were a lot of those guys playing with the Blues Brothers segment on the show. Howard Shore went on later to score all the movies for David Cronenberg. And I don't know how many are familiar with David Cronenberg. He started out doing horror movies like Videodrome and Rabid and The Fly. And then he branched off into other movies, some of them more controversial like Crash. But he's another Toronto-born director and filmmaker. So he was using Howard Shore on all his films. And again, Howard Shore, over 80 films that he's scored. So I have one here that I have, and you'll see The Lord of the Rings. Howard Shore got tagged to do the movie for the trilogy of the Rings. Again, quite a coup, because he's writing, conducting, arranging. It's just amazing how much work he's doing, and we really don't know, because when you start talking soundtracks and that, you're really not aware of who does them all the time. They do control our emotions, they make the movies come to life, and we just kind of accept that. We don't really look and see who's there or who's playing on these gigs, which I love with the session players. But Howard Shore, for again just a local Toronto guy that started out in a rock band they put together in 1969, has accomplished so much in so many different areas that I just thought he deserved a little recognition for his work over the years. Saturday Night Live was great. The soundtracks are excellent, and certainly the work he did arranging and playing with Lighthouse was fantastic. So you never know. Some of these guys that are doing their garage band thing now. Who knows where they're going to be in another 20, 30 years. So support all of your local musicians. Everybody enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you again here on Monday. Thanks for stopping by.